It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Don't fear it. Embrace it. Is anyone else thinking of the Blue Oyster in Brainerd right now? That walleye sandwich I ate? A couple of tasty Oktoberfest beers to wash it down. Remember last weekend?
Yes.
When there was hope? Don't fear the Reaper. Buck Dharma, which is he's the guitarist for Blue Oyster Cult. All that clever guitar work. He wrote that song after being diagnosed with an irregular heartbeat. Just got him thinking about his own mortality and death. And that's the theme of this morning's show, death.
Yes.
As we wade in. No. The Twins are dead.
Damn.
I know. That was it. It was entertaining there for a moment, and then it wasn't. We came home and lost two. Game ended and I stayed up for it like a sucker. Lost a valuable hour and a half of sleep that I would have otherwise received. But, it was an entertaining rundown. I'm not going to pretend that I sat and watched the entire season. I jumped on the bandwagon with everyone else, but to lose two at home, and it was a cold strike 3 to wrap up the game. Kissing your
Go down
sister.
swinging, man.
Yeah, go down swinging. I really thought after the ass whooping they received the night before or the day before that they'd come out just swinging the hell out of the bats. It just didn't get the clutch hits, right?
Right.
That's what I remember about that 87 team in particular. Also the 91 team is they just got clutch hits. They came to the plate and you just knew Kirby or Kent or somebody Gladden was going to swing that bat around and make that hit. And, that's how you win.
Really liked the Twins pitcher last night, though.
Which one? I think all of them pitched.
No,
Duran?
No.
No, shut up, Brian.
No, damn it.
I know, isn't that frustrating?
He's got the mullet, the curly mullet.
Oh, yeah. I like him, too. He looks like a big goose up there, big goose Gossage.
Oh, he can whale it.
Yeah, he can whale it. I mean, he brings the fire, doesn't he? Yeah. Had a couple of fire-breathing fastballers up there last night. And the bullpen, I mean, after they let a few runs get away from him, really shut him down. So, anyway, there you go. We'll put that to bed. No one's happy about the baseball this morning. Of course, Steve-O, his Orioles swept. The Twins are out of it, so he pushes all of his chips in on the Twins, I'm sure. Just loving the Minnesota team, but that didn't work out for him. And then Mike Evans, we'll find out here at 6:30, his beloved Dodgers, swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks last night. I'll only mention this because it's kind of an interesting highlight here. We'll set it up for you. The Arizona Diamondbacks hit 3 home runs in 1 inning. 4. It's never been done in the history of baseball. 4 home runs in the postseason in 1 inning. And they blast one. 4 home runs. Oh, but it's recalled. They do a reversal there on the replay. It's just outside the foul pole. And then this happened.
Right field. Hayward toward the line. Near the foul pole. Fair ball. Home run. Might be worth a challenge. The camera doesn't lie in this case, and it looks foul.
The call on the field is confirmed. Foul ball.
That was a historical call right there. Never in the postseason has there been 4 home runs in an inning.
Ever?
Ever.
More than 100 years ago?
Postseason history.
Wow. So, Christian Walker has the home run erased and then hits the next pitch to the moon. There's your 4th home run.
That's cool.
Yeah, there you go. The ALCS is going to be a Texas showdown, the Rangers and the Astros. All right, enough baseball. Put that away. Screw baseball. Who needs it? It's on the football, right?
They exceeded expectations. I
think they did. I mean, listen, hey, I'm going to give them a big attaboy on that, right?
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with that. There's next year. We'll look to next year. But I'm looking to tonight. I'm very excited for the Minnesota Wild season to get started. The Panthers, they lost the Cup last year, so we're going to find out a lot about the Wild. Some new additions. They brought in a guy that's hoisted the Cup a few times himself. And I'm blanking on his name right now. Tony, I'm having one of those moments myself.
I understand. I couldn't think of the pitcher.
Well, he's new. Yeah. After I watch him, I get settled with the team here. So the Panthers, they lost the Cup last year. I know. Minnesota Wild go tonight, 7 o'clock. They're dropping the puck right here at home before they head out east to north and east, Toronto and Montreal, I think, over the weekend and next week. So go Wild. Mm-hmm. Anything is possible. We'll be talking Vikings with Sam Ekstrom this morning. That's sort of like, I feel like that's having the sex talk with your kid at this point.
You know? A little awkward and uncomfortable.
You got to have it, right, though? You want to prevent STDs. I don't know what the hell that even would mean. Sudden turnaround dilemma.
Turnover.
turnover dilemma. That's it. That's the story of the Vikes this season. So, yeah, we'll talk to Sam at 8:30 about the Vikings. And here's the thing. They lose to Chicago. All the people that jumped on the bandwagon last year, and there were a lot of folks, and why wouldn't you? I get it. People like to badmouth bandwagoners. Oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon. Yeah, because I'm not going to sit around and root for a loser and spend my Sundays, glued to a television to watch a loser. You want to watch a winner, right? And so last year, it was one hell of an entertaining Vikings season. Maybe not one of the best Vikings teams of our lifetime, but one a hell of an entertaining season. You just, after the game, you were exhausted. Not so much this year, but if they lose to the Bears, they're going to lose a lot more than the bandwagon folks. Then it'll be like, what's the weather like this Sunday? I got to get out and do something. So anyway, we got all that coming up this morning.
Paddock. It just popped in my head, the Twins pitcher.
Oh, Paddock.
Yes.
All right. Now I want to know the Wild player. I don't have it. I'm not going to get it.
Is it Maroon?
Maroon. They're going to shout his name out when he puts one in the net for us. But I think he's won like a few cups, so bringing him in, that's legit right there. Doug Stanhope, one of my very favorite comedians. I mean, I go all the way back to the early 90s with this guy. He's a bit of an alcoholic and obscene, so I'm going to dig him.
Loves his weed.
Loves his weed, too. We love Doug Stanhope. He's going to be joining us here at 8 o'clock, right, Candace?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're giving away Queen tickets. That sucker's sold out.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, we have Queen tickets to give away 7:30 with a game show. Shock the Monkey.
Yes. I hate monkeys.
Do you hate monkeys, or did you?
Just kidding. I'm just trying to be on board, with the game and what we're doing. I'm just trying to support Tony and his hate.
Just trying to be
monkeys.
in full compliance.
All right, so we got that to look forward to at 7:30. Here at 6:30, we have Mike Evans' Hollywood Report. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
There is no joy in Mudville this morning. Of course, the Twins are out of it, and Steve's beloved O's were swept. Mike Evans' beloved Dodgers swept, I think, by the Diamondbacks. They're out of it. Hell, none of us won the lottery. Well, someone out in California won the lottery. Mike, did you win the lottery? Mike Evans' Hollywood Report. Good morning.
No, it wasn't me. I wouldn't be on if it was me.
Right.
This report brought to you by Marcus Theaters. They are the best. The Southbridge Crossing Cinema. Somebody wrote me a note and said how much they love the seats there. They love the food there. And remember, no matter what Marcus Theater you go to, every Tuesday is Value Tuesday, $6 for any movie you want to see, 20% off all concessions. Yeah. I'm going to get this out of the way since you brought it up. Twins lose, Baltimore loses. Naturally, I was pulling for the Dodgers in the playoffs, and they got swept last night. Am I upset? The answer is no. I learned this a long time ago. See if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled for the Dodgers. Used to work for them. But a long time I realized I don't have any control of this. Right. It is what it is. It doesn't really affect my life. I mean, it was fun while it lasts, but really, on the big picture of life, it's no big deal.
Well adjusted. That's a good point of view. I like it.
Yeah. Love Nuggets, 48-year-old Bradley Cooper and 28-year-old Gigi Hadid are still seeing each other every day. While it's still early, I hear their kids could meet this weekend. I think it is the real deal, so good for them. So the big question that everybody wants to know, will Taylor Swift be at Travis Kelce's game tonight in Kansas City when the Chiefs host Denver? TMZ says yes. However, people I talk to in Kansas City they don't believe that 100%. She's also expected to be at her movie premiere at the Grove here in Los Angeles at the same time tonight. What do they call it? Game time decision?
Huh? I guess so.
I think it's a game time decision for her, even though she's not playing in the game. Two hot stories, the possibility of a Seinfeld 1-hour special.
Really?
Definitely in play.
All right.
Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld, George Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, even Michael Richards have all had meetings about a reunion. Repeat, it is a rumor. Heads up, former L.A. Dodger Steve Garvey is running for Dianne Feinstein's U.S. Senate seat. As you know, I mentioned I traveled with the Dodgers. Steve was with the club when I was with them, had many dinners, played a lot of golf, knew his wife Cindy and his dad. This is an interesting story. In fact, Steve Garvey's dad drove the Dodgers spring training bus in Florida and an 11-year-old little Stevie Garvey was allowed to ride the team bus.
How about that?
He later became a ball boy, then a bat boy, and eventually became a Dodger superstar.
Yeah, and what a great long career. And seems like he could be the political type, right? I mean, just a straight-laced apple pie kind of guy.
Oh, I tell you what. In fact, there was an ongoing joke during when we have playoffs. I would come in the day before the playoffs rather than being there 2 or 3 days before. I'd go home and come back. And we were playing I think we were playing Pittsburgh in the playoffs. And when I got there, Bill Buckner and Bobby Valentine, I was talking to them, and I go, "What's the deal with Garvey?" They go, "He hasn't left the batting cage. He's sitting there talking to all the media for hours. He doesn't even go out to the field and take any." You're definitely right on that. Odds and ends: Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are definitely co-starring again together. Not in Barbie though. An Ocean's 11 prequel. That sounds kind of good.
All right. Well, if they're in it, I'm interested.
Yeah. Hey, what's your favorite restaurant?
Oh, that's, God, a mighty tall order. Oh, God, I just had like 5 pop into my head very quickly. Tony, help me out here. What's
Perkins.
Perkins is my favorite restaurant. Why do you ask?
I mean, I like Roy's Yamaguchi's in Hawaii. I just found a place called Sear Steak. I love that place. I'm kind of blank now. But the reason that I ask is that Delmonico's in New York City has been called one of the best restaurants in the United States. It's opened and closed a couple of times, but it's open again, and now again it's called the best restaurant in the country. Delmonico's has been around since the 30s. But listen, the 1830s.
Oh, wow.
Same menu.
It opened in 1837.
Damn.
And if you're ever in New York City, you got to check out Eat at Delmonico's. Oh, by the way, you have to wear a jacket. If you don't have one, they'll loan you one. And the prices are not on the menu.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'll accept an invitation from someone to eat that.
I think I'll go to the Soup Nazi instead. Hey, have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
All right, there goes Mike Evans' Hollywood Report here on the Mighty Q. Steve, by the way, going to rejoin us here tomorrow. He's feeling better. I don't know. I don't want to die. I mean, nothing serious. He went in to just get prettier. They're making that pretty
Is that
big,
possible?
tall- I didn't think it was possible, but I believe he's going to be prettier. Nothing silly like a nose job. I believe it involves his doppelganger buddy, Steve Gorman, the doc. Anyway, I just keep talking, don't I?
They're fusing.
Let me get out of that and get into this. I thought of you immediately, Tony, because they found him. They got a hold of him. Footage of Bigfoot that happened. Yeah,
Of course.
dig this.
Finally.
Yep. Shannon and Stetson Parker celebrated their 10th anniversary over the weekend by doing some sightseeing, took a train ride through a remote part of Colorado. In the last 2 seats on the caboose, great view, they said, and at some point they noticed movement. Then the person next to them started filming, and I mean, damn, it does look like what we think Bigfoot looks like. Big, hairy, tall son of a bitch, or someone in, a Bigfoot suit just going to an elaborate, one of these elaborate hoax kind of deals. But they've got some audio here from the train. Let's listen.
It's an elusive creature. All right, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera. I'll do it.
Yeah, it could be one of those hunters in one of their ghillie suits, that the snipers wear. But this guy spent 10 years in the Air Force, said it definitely wasn't that to his eye. It's about 100 yards out there, but he does squat down. It looks like, honestly, he's taking a crap, a Bigfoot dump out there. I mean, he goes down into the squat position. Good knees.
There's a lot of compelling video. I think something is happening there. It's unexplained.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is exactly, but there is a species of some
Well,
sort.
why can't you guys just let him live his life?
Right.
Like, why do we
Oh,
need
no,
to
that's
know?
not what we're humans. We're going to hunt him down, and we're going to put him in a circus, a freak show. Oh, we'll make him a celebrity, Well, he can endorse hair care products. He's already doing the beef jerky,
Do you remember that disastrous sitcom with the cavemen?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
They were commercial spokespeople for. It was so easy a caveman can do it.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, that's right. I do remember those.
And
Right.
they gave him a sitcom, and it was disastrous.
It was a disaster. I mean, it was no Phil Hartman on Saturday Night Live. I'm just a simple caveman lawyer. Your ways frighten and confuse me. Oh, that was a great character. I do remember that. Yeah, those were the hot commercials for a while, and they were clever.
Your world frightens and confuses me.
Oh, what a great skit. I love that. Listen to this story. You guys know the big plastic cheese ball containers, right? You know, they're little
Yes.
big jugs,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Right?
Oh,
The big,
yeah.
You know, they're
Love
about knee
those.
high, and you just eat them, and it lasts forever. You put the lid on it, you forget about it, it goes into the closet under the stairs for some reason, and then like 4 years later, they don't even stamp an expiration date on it. They don't bother. They don't expire. It's not probably not even any food. It's just styrofoam.
I don't know. Those don't last long around me.
Well, yeah, if you're chowing them down. But, yeah, did you ever just pull one of those big old cheese jugs into bed with you?
Oh, that sounds so nice.
That does kind of sound nice. And the thing is, they're so puffy. They're so cheesy puffy that if you mashed it down into one small mass, it would probably be like the size of a lemon or something, that entire jug. Anyway, there was a dog seen wandering around with one of these plastic cheese ball containers on his head.
Oh, puppy.
The visual is fantastic if you want to Google that a little bit later on today, because he just has this sad look on his face. Probably maybe a setter here or something, you know, just a good old-fashioned mutt. And he's got a big cheese ball container on his head. They said he's been walking around town with it for a few days, but they got it off. This is good. He's been officially dubbed Cheeto, although Jughead. Somebody calls him Jughead here. I like that.
Yeah.
This is Tom Walsh and some workers at a sanctuary freeing Cheeto.
We're here with Jughead.
Jughead, there you go.
Look at he's shivering a little bit.
It's okay, buddy. We got you now.
Just snip it, right?
Okay.
Who's a good boy?
There he is.
Yeah.
That cheesy face.
It's okay, Pop.
Oh, he can smell again. Let's get him some water.
Yeah.
It must have been hard to breathe.
It ain't easy being cheesy. There was a black bear in Colorado, story years ago, that was running around for weeks with one of those on his head because, unlike a dog, we can just, come here, boy, let's get that off you. Bear's not as easy to catch, and this bear was obviously frightened, terrified, had this jug in his, but they finally were able to lasso him. A cowboy went out there with his horse, lassoed this bear.
No.
They were able to dart him, knock him out, and they got the jug off the head.
Wow. Yeah, because who'd be so quick to volunteer to take the jug off the bear's head?
Right, exactly. Hey, well, speaking of top dogs, we're looking to crown the Twin Cities top dog. KQ's ultimate son of a bitch is back. Get to 92KQRS.com to submit a photo of your dog by Thursday. Damn, that's fast. And do that by next Thursday, I'm assuming. Voting starts, or is it? Yeah, no, you've got until next Thursday. Voting starts next week. That's what this says. And she's not going to win it. You've already put her picture in there so many times. It's just not happening. I finally met Gigi. She has one cute. She's so small.
She's really small. She's only 7 pounds.
She's a tissue. She's a Kleenex.
That's what I used her for. I wiped my nose. And that's the noise she made. All right, there you go. 92KQRS.com to submit a photo of your dog by Thursday.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Someone say Desmond Child. There he is. I bet every day we play a song that was collaborated or just outright written by Desmond Child. It was great hearing that interview again. Right now, we're going to play a little game called, well, what are we playing here for Queen Adam Lambert tickets, Tony?
How about we do this?
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
The KQ Morning Show presents
Shock the monkey. Shock the monkey. We've got an animal going into shock here. Shock the monkey.
Yeah, what we're going to do is test your knowledge, your random trivia skills, your ability to guess. So what we've done is strapped a monkey to a metal chair here in the studio, and we're going to fire off questions, and if you get it wrong, you get ridiculed. But get it right, you sick listeners, you get to send 2,000 volts of electricity into the hide of an unfortunate chimp. That's play.
I like the fact that you went with, if you get it right, you get to shock the monkey. It's a reward.
Sure, it's a privilege.
For us, a privilege here. These Queen Adam Lambert tickets, someone yesterday said they were sold out, so don't verify that. That was just a little office chit-chat out here in the hallway at the Q. But if not, it will sell out Saturday, October 28th. And Adam Lambert is no Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury is one of one, right? But I understand he comes pretty damn close sometimes. And Candace, have you ever had a chance to see Queen with Adam Lambert?
Last time they were here. And it's just like they definitely tribute, Freddie. And they talk about him.
Yeah.
And it's just like very emotional and amazing.
Emotional and amazing.
Yes.
You heard it right there. She knows her concerts, that gal over there. And then Brian Setzer this Friday at the State Theater.
Cool.
Our runner-up tickets today. Our first contestant, Candace.
We have Jeff from Columbia Heights.
Good morning, Jeff. How do?
I'm good. How are you?
We're all getting by around here. You ready to shock the monkey?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's do it.
Queen Adam Lambert. You ever had a chance to see Queen?
I have not.
Yeah, no, I don't think most people have, right? Because they didn't tour for the longest time. Then they got back together and brought Adam Lambert in, and he was on one of the, was it America's, what was it?
America's Got Talent? No, he was on American Idol.
That's the one I was trying to think of, right? And I thought, I don't know. He was pretty good on there, but and then I just watched some videos. Unlike Candace, I haven't seen them together, but he just nails it. As close as you can get. And all those Queen tunes and the rest of the band intact. All right, here we go, Jeff. Shock that sucker. Tony?
All right, you sick man, you. Number one, the names of the moons of Uranus and Saturn are taken from characters from plays written by Shakespeare.
Let's go with No Shock.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, come on. All right.
They actually were Ariel, Miranda, and Phoebe from The Tempest and A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, who
for
didn't know
Christ's
that?
sake.
I was right there with you.
Methinks thee doth. Got that wrongeth. Number two, here you go, little different twist. There's a bar in Brainerd where you have to buy everyone in the place a drink if you lift up both of your elbows.
Shock.
You got the monkey good. That is Sheps on 6.
Yeah, Sheps.
Yep.
Yeah, Sheps on 6.
Only one elbow is a greeting, but two.
Yeah,
you
no.
Don't
And you have
do
to,
that.
it has to be kind of like the chicken wing elbow. So, I mean, if the Vikes score or something like that, or the Twins, and you go, yeah! And people go, oh, both of your elbows are above your shoulder. No, that doesn't count. I found out.
Mm-hmm. The hard way.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Number 3, Superman's biological dad's name was Jor-El.
Oh, boy. Shock.
Yep.
Ooh, I smell hair.
I know. Number 4, Olive Garden's Never-Ending Pasta Bowl is named after the 1984 movie The Never-Ending Story.
No shock.
I think it's the other way around, isn't it?
Number 5, the Cyndi Lauper song She Bop was about masturbation.
Shock.
Oh, you answered that quick like.
Jeff knows.
Jeff, you got 4 out of 5. That's bloody impressive.
Yeah, damn, that usually gets the job done. Usually. We'll find out here if someone's worthy to run the table. Candace, who's up next?
Bob from Apple Valley.
Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
How are things down there?
Doing all right. Just on my way to work in Hastings here.
It's heading a little further south, down to Hastings you go. All right, Bob, both hands on the wheel, both ears on the radio. Tony, take it away.
Bob, how's the beer stube doing in Hastings?
Doing all right.
He'll find out at lunch today.
Love the stube. Right, Bob? Number 1, in South Bend, Indiana, a monkey was once tried and convicted for smoking a cigarette.
True.
What the hell are they doing in Indiana? Really? What? How? Okay, I'm going to Google that. There's a story there.
Oh, that's the truth. Number 2, the family dog in TV's The Brady Bunch was named Brutus.
True.
Oh, I'm sorry. The doggy's name was Tiger.
All right, shooting for a tie now, Bob.
That's right. You can make it happen, Bob. Rock band The Who composed a rock opera album called Timmy.
True.
Oh, so close. It was Tommy.
All right. Well, now you're just in it to shock the monkey, man. But,
oh, man. Yeah, now it's just for
we want to hear it. Come on.
Pure pleasure of shocking the monkey. Number 4, late night host Jimmy Kimmel was the creator and co-host of Comedy Central's The Man Show. And the show ended every episode with a segment called Girls on Trampolines.
True.
And one more, ham is pork meat that comes from a pig's thigh.
Yeah, true.
True. Ham. Ham.
That's pretty good. I mean, you did shock the heck out of that
Yeah, you
little
did.
bugger. And you got some tickets to see Brian Setzer. Always
Nice.
a rocking good time at the State tomorrow night. But, Jeff, you're going to see Queen, Adam Lambert together. We got a pair of tickets for you for this big show at the Excel Energy Center, and that is happening on October 28th. Thanks, fellas. We appreciate you dialing up, taking the time. Now get back to work.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Doggone it, they did.
Mm-hmm. They showed that ape who's boss.
Yeah, no, I was talking about they did actually bust a smoking monkey in South Bend, Indiana.
I ain't lying.
No, somebody did. They went out of their way to pass a law because some guy had a smoking monkey and it was upsetting the Christians or something. I don't know. Also have a law there that no one may catch a fish with his or her bare hands. What the hell's going on in Indiana? No wonder. I've never stopped in Indiana. I just keep driving, when I'm going back east. Something like that. And now I know why. All right, that was a good time. We do have Doug Stanhope coming up here. But I was, have you guys heard of the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Have we talked about that one? The Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
Yes.
Came out. Did it come out this year? I think it did finally come out this year because Winnie the Pooh finally has been around long enough that, what do they call that, Tony? Is it when it becomes public property?
Public domain.
Public domain, yeah.
Right.
So as soon as Winnie the Pooh became public domain, somebody jumped on and made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I only watched the trailer. The trailer alone is fuel for nightmares. This thing is really dark and bloody and gory. And a math teacher in Florida got into trouble after screening Winnie the Pooh for fourth graders.
What? Oh, made a boo-boo.
No, it wasn't because Winnie didn't have pants on. No, the live-action horror, unrated but clearly not suitable for 9-year-olds. Pooh and Piglet are bloodthirsty murderers. He says the kids, that's what they wanted to watch. That's what they asked. Yeah, that's what we do. We give fourth graders, 9-year-olds, what they want. That's how that works. Some of them did ask him to turn it off, but no, he didn't. He's been teaching too long. Oh, no, you'll sit here and you'll watch it. And about 30 minutes into it, they ended up pulling the plug on it, and he's into a little bit of trouble, I guess. Happened at a school called the Academy for Innovative Education. How's that for innovative?
And as he played the movie, he was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, right, exactly. Twisting little minds. In a survey, they said 42% of people say they felt a paranormal presence in their home. Mm-hmm. And you agree with that. Candace, you're totally on board. Yeah. I'm waiting for it to happen. It's probably happened, and I'm the guy that goes, the wind, that dang wind again, or I feel a shiver up my spine. I
think you just don't want to, because you'll be scared.
Yeah, I'll be pussed out. I'll just puss out. Yeah, what am I going to do? Crawl into my bed? I'm going to cry. I'm going to call Candace.
You will, you big baby.
Can you guys help me out here? Anyway, I bring all of this up because it is Shocktober, and this... See, I do love Shocktober. I love the whole Halloween thing. I really kind of get into it, but I like just the scared factor. I don't know that I necessarily buy in everything's real. I just like scaring people and getting scared and, watching the movies and all of that good stuff. So this sounds pretty cool. Minnesota's Boyd House. Have you heard of this place?
Oh.
It's a haunted short-term rental for paranormal enthusiasts. This is where we're broadcasting live later this month. The tiny town of Boyd, Minnesota. I know it's down in the southwest. I guess that's about all I know about it. It says here it has a population of about 170 people. That sounds scary. 170, just like Salem's Lot, all staring at you when you come into town.
Yeah, the creepy small town with secrets.
Right. It says, so anyway, this home, a Victorian house built in 1901, old and creepy. Owned by a lady named Minnie Eckhart, who passed away in the home in 1955. Her funeral was held in the living room.
Oh, my God.
Her husband, Fred, died in the house 3 years later, and Shelley believes their spirits never left.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think so. And you can rent this sucker like an Airbnb down there in Boyd. Doesn't that sound like a wild weekend?
Yep,
And you know,
I'm
Boyd
ready.
has a bar or two. Gonna
Yep.
have some fun. It looks like a super creepy house, no doubt about it.
Really?
The Boyd House, a haunted Airbnb in Minnesota.
Boyd House.
The Boyd House.
What if he's
But
a
no
friendly
murders.
ghost?
Well,
be friendly.
well, they just passed away, you know? Nothing too gory here.
Yeah,
Well,
keep
so-
us company.
No axe murdering.
You guys know the Palmer House.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
So we did a big KQ party there a few years ago, and yeah, we definitely had some cocktails. But those ghosts there are like party ghosts. Like they want you to party, and then they want to party with you and mess with you, and definitely felt a bunch of stuff. Like when we went back to our room for the after party, things
Yeah.
got pretty weird. But
Explain.
it was fun, just like movements and noises and stuff. Like it's like we were all partying together.
A lot of
Was it-
fist bumps.
Yeah, was it just you, Candace, and these spirits, these drunken ghouls?
No, it was we had a few people in our room.
All
It
right.
was,
And they were just,
yeah.
what, the windows were going up and down by themselves?
Yeah, and then they accidentally spilled some wine on the carpet.
Oh, is that what you told them at the front desk?
When your hand
No.
slipped.
Wasn't me.
No, they did, and then I scrubbed it up perfectly clean because I've been there, done that.
You know, they made the mess. You let them scrub it up or they'll never learn.
It was fun though. It was kind of scary at first, but then when we realized, like, you can feel the energy, like if it's bad energy or good energy, and it's just
Yeah.
a really fun place.
I-
It's got good food and all that stuff. So.
I don't have stones. I have stones if you're, we're talking about balls. But I mean, I don't have, you have that mystic stuff, all that witchy stuff. I don't have that kind of stuff. How do I conjure up a spirit? I guess you got to believe.
Just hang with me.
Drink wine and hang out with Candace.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a good time to me. Hey, listen, the 92 KQRS Kickback Jackpot is at 6,000 smackers. Meet up with Woody and Bud Light at Carboni's in Lakeville during the first half of Sunday's game. Sign up for the Kickback Jackpot. It's the first play of the, if the first play rather of the second half is a kickoff return for a touchdown by either team, you could win $6,000. If not, we'll roll the prize money over to the next game and add another 1,000 to the pot. Complete contest rules at 92kqrs.com. Doug Stanhope. I've loved this guy for a long time. Used to be on The Man Show. Yeah. Actually, when Adam Carolla left The Man Show, then Doug Stanhope came on. But he was a very well-known stand-up comedian before that, author, award-winning actor. His stand-up material, it says here in his bio, favors caustic and often obscene observations of life. That's what I love so much about him. He's in a new movie, and this movie's winning a lot of awards. We're going to talk to Doug Stanhope at 8 o'clock. Hang tight.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
All right, we're going to be talking with Doug Stanhope. Has a new movie out that's been winning a lot of awards. And this movie may have been written for him. I just watched the trailer and kind of been digging into it. Been a big fan of his going all the way back to the 90s. One of my buddies called me up. We didn't have internet back then. Wasn't like, hey, you got to check this guy out on YouTube or something. And I drove over. He's like, dude, you got to come listen to this cassette I got of this guy. It's crazy. And I went over there and we dug into a bottle of Jameson and sat there and listened to this thing till I literally went to the bathroom and barfed. I was laughing so hard.
Well, what a compliment. You'll have to share that with him.
I probably will. So big fan. He's going to be calling in here in a few minutes.
I know a secret about him.
But Doug Stanhope?
Yeah, I'm going to confront him.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I love that. Absolutely. He's the kind of guy that you want to confront. A guy that knows how to handle himself on stage, with drunk hecklers.
I'm not scared.
No, you shouldn't be scared,
I ain't
Doug.
scared of nothing.
No, he's lovable. And I've listened to, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. They just drone on and on and on. I'm like, all right, already. Thank you. But I will listen to stuff that he's on. He's had a podcast or two out there. So we'll have Doug Stanhope here in a little bit. So I don't have anything to go to except some of this Hollywood garbage that is kind of just attached to the Doug Stanhope stuff I was looking at. We did a story a couple of weeks ago that Cher had her 47-year-old son kidnapped, Elijah Blue Allman, with Greg Allman, that kid they had when they were together for about 6 weeks back in the late 1970s. Elijah Blue Allman kidnapped, because he's struggled with addiction. That was the story. And she had him kidnapped, I think, from his wife at the time out of a hotel room, sent some goons over. I love the fact that Cher still has access to goons. Of course she does. Well, according to Elijah's estranged wife, Cher hired 4 men to abduct him from a New York City hotel as part of an apparent drug intervention. But Cher says, nah, never happened. Does anybody have a Cher impression where they can know?
No, it's too hard.
Yeah, you just don't call it
half-breed.
What'd you call me? She's not saying what did happen, but she says, and I'm quoting Cher now, I'm a mother. This is my job one way or another to try and help my children. You do anything for your children. You know, that I get when I found out that he was struggling with addiction and he got married and he was living in a hotel and doing smack and all that stuff. Sure, if any parent had access to a goon squad, we'd call the goon squad to go get the kid out of there. Right. And Cher has those resources, but it didn't happen quite like that. He wasn't kidnapped. She just adds whenever you can help them, you just do it because that's what being a mom is. You try to be there for them. Right?
I think we all learned a valuable lesson.
Right there, Cher. She's not the wacko we thought. I was kind of hoping for something a bit more, nuts. Like Jada Pinkett. Now, Jada Pinkett saying, what was it Mike Evans was saying, that her and Will Smith have been split since 2016? Well, what the heck is he defending you for at the Oscar? Why is he going slapping somebody? That's not your wife. You guys haven't been together for 7 years. She has a memoir coming out, Jada. It's called Worthy. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Just going to rip through that book, curl up with that.
Happy holidays, Mr. Z. That's what you're getting.
Yeah. I need a bottle of Jameson just to open it. But she reveals Chris Rock once asked her out. What? Well, sure, why not? They all hang out at the same places. She's a fine-looking lady. Chris is a man. He's a mover, a shaker. Happened one summer when there were rumors that she and Will were divorcing. He called her and said that's why he got smacked. He tried to get his, hand on that, hand in the cookie jar there.
Where they're both like swingers.
Yeah, they talked about their open marriage, which really wasn't even a marriage. We're banging other people, we're married, but we're not married. She told him they were not divorcing, her and Will, and he profusely apologized, and that was that. I don't understand that. What's the big deal then? Sounds like a gentleman. Sounds like a nice guy. Thought you were back on the market, asked you out. You said, hey, Will and I aren't divorced. Hey, so sorry. I hope there's more in the book than that, for crying out loud. That sounds rather boring.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about that, to be honest. I'll just skip it.
Yeah, no, I'll probably skip that one, too. Screw it. Who needs it? No Doug yet, huh?
Nope.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe you heard that I'm going to expose him and he's not going to call in now.
He's hesitant. People are like, you don't want to mess with her.
Oh, I just think he'd just jump right on that.
We'll see, won't we?
The Golden Bachelorette.
Oh.
You guys been watching The Golden Bachelorette?
No, it's The Bachelor, not Bachelorette. The Golden Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor.
No, but they're tossed. Oh, yeah, right. They have The Golden Bachelor, but now Jesse Palmer wants to host a Golden Bachelorette.
Okay. I love watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Kind of addicted to it, but I have not caught the older version.
Golden Bachelor? Yeah. I mean, do they just both doze off before they get to the kissing part? It's getting late. I'm going to turn in. I've had a little too much champagne.
They do a puzzle.
Something like that. All right, I think we've got him on the line now. Doug Stanhope. This guy's been at it for a while. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Good to have you on with us. We were talking about you a little bit here. The Road Dog. So I just got around, found out you're going to be in today. Steve Gorman's not in with us this morning. So I'm like, I can't wait to talk to Doug Stanhope. I go back to somewhere in the beginning of your career, whenever the hell that was. It was before we had the internet because a buddy of mine, JC, calls me up and he goes, have you heard of Doug Stanhope? I'm like, no. He's like, he's this comedian. You got to hear him. I got his new cassette. It was Sicko or something, one of those cassettes. So I bust over to his place. We get into a bottle of Jameson. I did end up barfing, but because probably I was laughing so hard. And then I was a fan for life. And then you're on the Man Show, and I'm catching all your stand-up stuff. And then we get the internet. And so then I can just devour your stuff. I love this. Hold on. Let me read this from your bio here that they sent us. I don't even know if you read this stuff or if you have anything to do with it.
No, I cringe almost every time.
Now you're going to love this. Doug his stand-up material favors caustic and often obscene observations of life, which he delivers while consuming alcohol.
All right, that's true. Fact check. They have to go to Snopes for that one.
Right. And then I hit the trailer of Road Dog, and I'm like, did you go to this project, or did it come to you? Tell our listeners about the Road Dog.
It came to me, and it's pretty much the era you were describing, pre-internet, is what it's written about. Even though it's not really set in that, but it's written about those '90s guys that just self-destructive. It's pretty much the path I actually am on that path, except I'm far more successful than
The Road Dog, by the way, it's out now. You can track it down, video on demand, and I don't have the. Here it is, video on demand, DVD, cable, and satellite platforms. Came out on October 6th. And this is winning awards, man. Best Picture, Best Actor, that's you, man, and Best Director at the 23 Hollywood Real Independent Film Festival. The Road Dog, have you ever done a film that won awards?
No, but that's pretty much why I agreed to film it for 5 weeks in the winter in Chicago. I go, well, I'm starring in it, so that way I can say that technically I'm a movie star. And then I won some awards, so technically I'm an award-winning movie star.
You've got that on the resume now.
Yeah. So as long as it's technically true, I can pass a lie detector test.
This reminds me, you talked about those comedians, you guys that came up through the 90s, comedy, stand-up comedy blowing up, and everybody's into it. And they started coming into radio stations, and we would hang out in the morning. And every once in a while, someone would say, hey, man, anyone want to go bowling or get some coffee or a drink or something? And I thought, yeah, who doesn't want to hang out with a comedian? After about the fourth time, I'm like, oh, my God, your lives are dark and sinister. And I understand now what you're doing up there on stage. I'm not going to describe you as particularly that. I don't know how much of it was an act, but I mean, it was brilliant stuff. You just kind of peeled it all back and said it. And this movie is written by comedians. Did you have a hand in writing this?
Well, they were very lenient in letting me rearrange some of the dialogue so it fit what I would say naturally. Because, I mean, I didn't really have to take any acting classes to play a chain-smoking drunk. That part came easily, but as far as, I would never say it that way. And so, they allowed me to make it my own. But no, it's their script. And it was very low budget. I keep thinking of scenes that got cut out. And especially this morning, there was like morning radio stuff, like classic morning radio stuff that we just didn't have the budget or time to film. But
maybe on the outtakes, or maybe there's a sequel. I don't know how this thing ends. I'm going to find out. So this is the story of a drunk, chain-smoking comedian out on the road. You've been at it for a while. A success, but self-destructing. And then whammo, you've got a kid. You bump into your kid somewhere. By the way, this kid looks like it could be your frickin' kid. I mean, I'm looking at the name.
He's actually a comics kid, and he does do stand-up comedy. His dad is T.P. Mulrooney, who's a legend in Chicago.
Yeah, Des Mulrooney, yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's funny because I did do a 23andMe or Ancestry, one of those where I did the math where I go, okay, this is when I had my vasectomy, and if I did have a kid out there somewhere, he'd be of legal age. I wouldn't be financially responsible. So I did that hoping to find a kid because I thought it'd be funny, and I needed the material. But no, so far, no one's showing up at my door.
Let's go back to chain smoking and drinking for a second. Doug, have you ever been naked in a green room with Dave Mordahl before? I want to get this.
Oh yes, we've been naked together many times.
All right, no hesitation.
Pride.
Cool.
I remember him coming into the restroom at Acme into the men's room with his junk out and pointing to a spot and going, "Hey, Stanhope, you think this is a carbuncle or a wart?"
Well, what was it?
You got it burned off regardless.
Well, that's good because he's been bragging about that, and I just want to make sure it was true. He's talking about it a lot, so cool.
That sounds like the kind of thing you'd make up. I've been naked in a room or with a naked Doug Stanhope. Doug, have you been out doing...
Still up in his compound up there?
Oh, yeah.
North?
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of guns.
Guns and goats.
Guns and goats. We even tried to get him to call in. We're going to do, hey, Doug, man, we've got a caller that wants to ask you a question. A nice little setup thing like that. Really just laid it out for him. And, he's like, between puffs, he's like, I gotta get up in the morning. I tell Doug I said hi.
Hey, I just want to say that's not true because he
What?
hasn't
That's what you told me.
smoked. He hasn't smoked
Oh,
for
that's
like
right.
6 years now.
That's right. I thought he was going to die immediately when he quit.
I had to quit too. I quit in February, but we filming that movie. I smoked enough for a lifetime. It's like, when you can get me to go, I can't smoke any more cigarettes. Can we do one scene where I'm not smoking? Because you're just like constant relighting a brand new cigarette for continuity. Because you can't have a fresh cigarette and then the next then all of a sudden it's down to a butt. So so I haven't smoked since February, but I'm sure the cancer's already here.
Doug Stanhope, he's winning awards. The movie is The Road Dog. It's out now. It came out about a week ago or so. Video on demand, DVD, cable, and satellite platforms. The Road Dog. Are you happy? Do you really love the movie, man?
It's pretty bleak.
Yeah.
They just showed it at Skank Fest, which is a comedy festival in Vegas, and I was doing mushrooms, and I had to do Q&A afterwards, and I'm having the time of my life at this comedy festival. It's completely out of control, and then I'm tripping, and I'm thinking, wow, this is like the biggest downer movie you could play in the middle of a festival.
So the critics and the people that hand out awards, they love it. The audiences, are people coming up and digging it?
Yeah, so as far as I know, what are they going to tell me the truth?
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't even tell you the truth right now. I was even going to bullshit you and tell you I saw it, and I just thought it was amazing. But I just got through the trailer. But I am going to watch it because you're one of those comedians that, I hate to use dumbass words like endured, but you just keep it fresh and you keep coming at it because you just... like Bill Hicks, you refuse to compromise your comedy, and it seems to me that you've had opportunities along the way to maybe sell out and cash in a little bit, and maybe this is a misread, but you just can't help but be Doug Stanhope.
Yeah, a lot of people call that alcoholism. he just likes to be himself. Starting around 5 o'clock every night.
That's not bad. But you've got a kick-ass podcast that's doing really well. I think you're still doing that. I know I catch episodes of it every once in a while, and that's your forum. That kind of stuff. Podcasting was built for guys like you. You're not going to get up every morning like Mordall did for at least 10 years. He drug his ass into the radio station here, but that's not going to be probably something you're going to do.
Yeah, no, I wake up at this hour problematically, like it's a bladder issue at this point. But I love terrestrial radio is that I don't have to be on Zoom. That's the problem with podcasts now. No one wants to see my face at this age. Let's just go back to the old school terrestrial thing.
Hey,
I can get away without saying the F word for an hour.
So far, so good. Did you shave your head, man? Did you lose your hair? This is the first time I saw you completely cue ball. Just is it for the role, or is that how you're rolling?
In the movie, well, yeah, it's pretty much gone. I keep it short, not that short, but I did for the movie just for continuity because I could shave it with my own razor, my own shavers every day, so it would stay consistently at one length. We didn't have a big wardrobe and the makeup department, so it's pretty much on my own as far as keeping my hair and beard at the same length.
I liked it because Des Mulrooney, who plays your kid in this, has so much hair. He's got that youthful, shaggy hair kind of thing going on. It's all over the place. I just thought it just helps separate. Here's a young, fresh-faced comedian coming up who discovers his dad is this old, semi-burned-out comedian, and I just thought the bald look was good. And I thought, I don't know, maybe he's been completely shaven for a while, but I just thought it was a nice touch, as it were.
Yeah, the woman who plays his mother has a full head of hair, so that explains his hair early on.
It sure does. It's The Road Dog, a sweet tale of second chances, forgiveness, and in a strange way, hope. And, dude, it's just from the trailer, it's filled with just great, funny one-liners. If you love Doug Stanhope and stand-up comedians in general, because that's who wrote this movie, this is definitely a must-watch. I'll definitely track it down, and that's no bullshit.
I appreciate it.
All right.
It's always good to talk to you guys.
All right, Doug, we'll let you get on to the next morning show cowbell that you've got coming up here this morning. Don't be a stranger, man.
You were the first. You broke my coffee cherry. And, now, thank you for letting me practice talking on you. I'll be hilarious on the next one.
Oh, all right. Hey, listen, you're not coming here and doing any stand-up anytime soon, are you? Acme, anything like that?
I'm going to write a new act. I filmed a special in May that I haven't gotten around to editing and putting out, and then I have to write a new act. So it'll be 2024. I'm done for this year at least.
All right, we have a contract. We'll be around at least that long. Get a hold of us when you do, man. We'd like to talk to you again.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good luck with everything. Doug Stanhope, it's the Road Dog. I'm going to track it down. Video on demand. I don't see a streaming thing here. You're going to have to make a little effort to get it. Cable and satellite platforms. Yeah, just the Road Dog. Punch that in. Talk that to your voice recognition television. I'll kick it back out. I really did dig the trailer. It was funny, and you can tell this thing's got some heart. There's nothing wrong with a little heart in a movie every once in a while.
He's a pretty down-to-earth lad.
He is. He is.
Like
yeah,
him.
Absolutely. If Doug Stanhope comes to town, that's a show. That's a ticket you want to get. Trust me on that. Sam Ekstrom, he's our Purple Insider. Let's tear off this Band-Aid. Let's talk about the Vikings. They're headed to Chicago this weekend, and we're talking to Sam Ekstrom, Minnesota Vikings, here at 8:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
That's the sound right there you hear on Sundays in living rooms all across Minnesota. Yeah! Son of a gun.
That was scary.
Sam Ekstrom is a host and Vikings insider for the podcast network Locked On Sports Minnesota. You can hear him on The Ron Johnson Show, the Minnesota Football Party, and the Vikings podcast after each game. Postcast, make that. Vikings postcast after each game. Good morning, Sam.
1 second.
Oh, all right. We're still connecting Sam here.
Goddamn right.
I got it. That's my bad. I got it. Here he is. Here he is.
Here's it. Hold on.
We're juggling. We're shucking and jiving here. We got it all figured out. Sam, you there, bud?
I'm there. How's it going?
Going well. I'm a little worried about you, though, Sam. I mean, this is your livelihood. The Vikings have lost all the bandwagon fans from last season. And if they lose this weekend, I'm afraid just about everyone in Minnesota is going to be looking for something else to do on Sunday. Farmers market, out to the, I don't know if they're going to be going out to the orchards or what the hell's going on here. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but welcome, Sam. They're off to Chicago this weekend, and I was digging into Chicago. Tell me something about Chicago, because it looks like they won last weekend, last time out, but Justin Fields, is he starting to turn his season around a little bit?
Yeah, it seems like it's been one of the lowest points in recent Vikings football, and yet it could get lower if you lose to the Chicago Bears, who are coming alive a little bit. They've scored 68 points the last two games. They've got Justin Fields playing a little more confidently after there was kind of a meltdown after the second or third week where his coaches clearly weren't on the same page. And they hang 40 points on Washington. So now you got to go in their building where the Vikings have always struggled historically to score points. You could be a last-place team after this weekend. So it feels like the lowest point is near. The Vikings have to do whatever they can to claw out of this, and they'll do it without Justin Jefferson, which is the big story of the week.
Yeah, that is the big story of the week. And has anything changed? Last I heard, it was 4 weeks, IR.
And 4 weeks is the minimum. So if you're designated on the IR, you have to be on the injured reserve for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Could be longer than that. Now, hamstrings are tricky because after 1 week, you might feel great, but how is it going to react when you have to make a sudden cut? And we've watched Justin Jefferson for 4 years. He thrives on his precise route running, where he's cutting on a dime, he's juking out defensive backs. That's his game, or those quick movements. So a soft tissue injury like this might not kind of aggravate until he gets back on the field going full speed. We saw Adam Thielen several years ago struggle mightily to come back from this injury just because whenever he tried to ramp it up, he always had a setback. We've never seen how Justin Jefferson heals. He's really never been hurt like this.
Yeah.
So this is uncharted territory, and the Vikings will have to go forward without him. But I did find one encouraging stat. Kirk Cousins, when Adam Thielen was out in the past several years, went 8-2 as a starting quarterback. So there is, I think, life without Jefferson, but it is going to be a little more challenging. We're going to have to see some other receivers get involved.
Yeah, and they do have some other weapons. And it does happen in professional sports in particular when a superstar goes down, your superstar goes down, it sort of wakes up the team, as if a 1-4 start shouldn't wake up professional football players. But, it's kind of a step-up mentality here, and maybe they dig a little deeper. And this team is all about, now they got to be tight. They're going to Chicago. They know that's always, like you said, in the division, you go to Detroit, you go to Chicago, you go to Lambeau. I mean, these are almost pick-em games. Even if, Chicago's sitting there at 1-4 and the Vikings are at 4-1, I'm nervous about them going into Chicago. That's what this division does. A lot of divisions do that. The North, I think, in particular, does that. So the team's a little tight, and the thing that they need to do is not make the mistakes which you make when you're a little tight. So what's the mentality? How does this team relax and go into Chicago yet with a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah, and Chicago's been the house of horrors for them. There was a period of time where they lost something like 10 of 11 in Chicago, and they have reversed that a little bit in recent years when the Bears have been really down. But it always feels like a struggle. We've seen the Vikings, go on losing streaks in the past, and sometimes when they're at their lowest point, that's when Kirk Cousins claws back. He kind of is at his best when he's behind in the game, or the season is circling the drain, and Kirk Cousins has historically come up with that game. And it might not be pretty. It might be an ugly win. They usually are in Chicago, but just something to get the team back on track. And we saw this in 2020. They started 1-5, and they clawed back, and they were 6-6. And we saw it in 2021. They were 1-3, and then they were back to 500. So this team has been resilient under Kirk Cousins in the past. Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, K.J. Osborne, that's a pretty nice group of receiving weapons, even without Justin Jefferson. So I think it just comes down to winning one ball game, and then you can kind of refocus and just get back on track. And all the people that were riding high about the Minnesota Twins, they can't ride high about the Minnesota Twins anymore, so now all of their frustration will go into the Minnesota Vikings if they lose on Sunday.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sam Ekstrom, our Vikings insider, our guest currently here at the moment. I'm just looking at the weather here in Chicago on Sunday, 54 for a high with a 50-50 chance for rain, and it looks like a couple of days of straight rain preceding that. Of course, they take a pretty good care of that field over there, but it could be sloppy conditions, and who knows who that works better for. These are professional athletes, so when you start talking about, it's Chicago's home field, we play in a dome, I don't know that matters quite as much as it used to. Well, let's talk about the defense a little bit, which, hasn't been a bad story. They held Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense to 330-some yards or something like that last week, which is a victory. Didn't let him run away with 30, 40 points. I thought it was a defensive victory against Mahomes and the Chiefs last week, if you can use such language.
I would agree with you. They kind of did that thing where they get a lot of pressure, but they couldn't bring him down enough. Yeah. They needed to stop the Chiefs like 70% of the time on third down to win that game. And I think the Chiefs converted 60%. They were 9 of 15. And the Chiefs are just a back-breaking team. You get them where you think they're in a pinch. 3rd and 18. Mahomes faces a blitz, throws up a wild prayer, and it gets caught. That's just what the Chiefs do. That's what Mahomes does.
Yeah.
But I thought in theory their blitzing strategy was pretty effective. They got his timing off, and that's what Brian Flores is hoping to do with all those pressures. Now they face another super mobile quarterback in Justin Fields.
Yes, sir.
The difference is that Fields does tend to run himself into trouble. Even though he's agile, he is not comfortable under pressure, and he actually gets himself in a lot of sack situations. So this is a week where you got to get home. Marcus Davenport returned a couple weeks ago. He's looked really good. Daniil Hunter's on a really nice pace for a big year. You got to get Fields on the ground because that's someone that can burn you with his legs, with designed runs, with improvised runs. And he's obviously going to be the key to stop for Chicago. He has come alive a bit the past couple of weeks. He's got a good connection with DJ Moore, their top wide receivers. So I am nervous about the game. I think Chicago's found a little bit of something. And yeah, it's a battle to avoid the basement of the NFC North.
Yeah, and hey, there's 12 games left this season. I know it's 1-4, and you're looking at the playoffs, and can that possibly happen? But let's do what fans do and get out in front of ourselves here. Of course, the 49ers are coming to town for that Monday night game. I've watched 2 complete 49ers games now. There isn't a better team in the NFL. If the Chiefs are the kind of team that just plays well enough to win because they can, like, oh, hey, guys, let's quit taking selfies with girlfriends on the sideline and quit tweeting from the sideline or whatever and go out and win this ball game. The Chiefs sort of have that cavalier attitude. The 49ers are not. They are a military machine that is hitting on all cylinders. So we don't look for anything great there. And then they're off to Lambeau. But then it gets a little soft with the Falcons and the Saints and the Broncos. And the Bears come here then, which is a different thing. Then we're off to Las Vegas. So there's a chance to get back to 500 in here somewhere. But it's got to start. It's got to start, don't you think, with a win this Sunday?
Yeah, I've been saying this for a few weeks. Number one, to your San Francisco point, I said before the Chiefs game that I think the 49ers are a tougher game because they just have that chip on their shoulder. They don't have the championship rings the Chiefs do. They're playing as hard as they possibly can. Their quarterback has literally never lost. Brock Purdy is still perfect in his starting career. Jeez. So that's a scary game. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. If you look at the games around that, I mean, Green Bay is suddenly swooning. You've got them twice on the schedule. The Bears are the Bears. You've got them twice on the schedule. The Raiders are anything but intimidating. Right. The Falcons and Saints, they've got pretty average QB play. You can beat them as well. And the Broncos are one of the most dysfunctional teams. There are wins to be had on this schedule, and I could easily see a path where they claw back, get to 7-7 in December, and then they've got a chance at the end. And some people are getting upset about that, Zepp, if you mention it, because they're saying, no, tank for a quarterback. It's a top 5 pick. Right. And I just don't think it happens. I think you've still got Kirk Cousins, who all he does is go 500. He's going to find a way to get enough wins that they're not going to get Caleb Williams or Drake May in the draft. They're not going to have a top 5 pick. I think they are going to win enough to actually get themselves back in the playoff picture. But, you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, and that includes Sunday. So you can't have any more setbacks against teams like the Bears.
Yeah, I agree. The tank thing, that is fan fodder. Michael Strahan was talking last weekend, and it wasn't about the Vikings, but it was about this notion of tanking and going for a draft pick. And I suppose there are things you can do on the sideline within play calling to just conservative game, put them in a conservative defense, and expect that they're going to lose. But professional ball players don't go out and play at half speed. They don't play at 3/4 speed. First of all, that's how you get hurt. The other team's not playing at half speed and 3/4 speed. It's not a practice they're jogging through. They're coming at you. And that is the easiest way to get hurt in the NFL or most any sport is to just by kind of phoning it in. So I don't think they're not going to go out there with a Pro Bowl mentality like, I'm going to run around because the other team isn't. They can't. That stuff just doesn't happen. I think we're past the point now where they can really trade Kirk Cousins within this season. Maybe if the season is tanked, I don't know how these trade deadlines go, but towards the end of the season, if a team has that is a playoff contender has a catastrophic injury, then maybe you can cut your losses. I don't know if something like that's possible, but now this team's going to play, and there's a local sports writer, Sam, and I forget who it was, and I hate not to attribute it to the sports writer, but it was more fan fodder stuff. If you had just taken away all of their turnovers, the Vikings would be 3-2. That's a pretty big if in the NFL. However, that's where it starts. You just got to hold on to that damn ball. Now it's in their head.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. They've fumbled 8 times, which matches last year's total in 17 games, and they've matched it in 5. It's almost comical that they fumbled away the football on the first play against the Chiefs. Yeah. And, of course, the Chiefs capitalize. They go down and score. And other teams have been so opportunistic against the Vikings, the exact opposite of last year. If you could play relatively mistake-free football and do everything else the same that they've done, I think they win football games. They should have won football games already, and they let a couple golden opportunities slip away. It wouldn't have stung as much to lose to the Chiefs if you were going into that game 3-1. But because you went in 1-3, everything is magnified. Now, every mistake, and you said it earlier, it's kind of in their head now at this point. They're talking about it so much that they're almost gripping the ball too tightly. and they still can't hang on to it. So it's been frustrating. The fans have been endured a lot through 5 games. And, like you talked about with the tank, if things did kind of go that way and they keep losing football games, I guess it almost turns into excitement because then people get really excited about the next quarterback and draft prospects. So there's kind of like an inverse reaction here where the more they lose, people actually get more enthused, which is kind of a weird dynamic.
I'm going to get on the losing bandwagon. Why not? Sam, just one more thing here for you that might be, I don't know, some positive, something to think about. The Minnesota Wild get started tonight. So if they lose, let's say at Soldier Field in Lambeau here in a couple of weeks, you might want to be our Wild insider, something you might want to think about.
Hey, I can talk a little hockey. I'm more in college hockey. I call the Gopher hockey games on TV, but yes, I can talk pro hockey too.
All right. Well, hey, I'll tell you what. The Vikes go into Soldier Field. They go up to Lambeau, and they get those wins. And we'll go ahead and give San Francisco the win on Monday night. Then the fans are back into this season, I guarantee you. That would be 2 big wins.
Yeah, it won't take much to get the fans re-engaged. If you could go the next 4 weeks at 3-1 and then get Justin Jefferson back when you're 4-5, let's play. Then I think you're at the halfway point of the season. You feel like you kind of salvage things and you go into a soft part of the schedule. So it's salvageable, but there's no room for error anymore. And error has been the key word for the Vikings this year. They've made a lot of them, and they got to clean that up immediately to take advantage of this schedule.
I can't think of a better place to wrap it than right there, Sam. Thank you very much, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep, thanks. We'll talk to you then.
Sam Ekstrom, a host and Vikings insider for the podcast network Locked On Sports Minnesota. You can hear him on the Ron Johnson Show, the Minnesota Football Party, and the Vikings postcast after each game. And you can catch up with Steve Gorman and the KQ Morning Show podcast, a hilarious comedy. Have you heard it, the podcast? It's much funnier than the show. In-depth interviews anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want, sponsored by Devani's Pizza and Hot Hokies. We're expecting our man to be back tomorrow, the big guy to be back, Steve Gorman, right here in the chair tomorrow. 8 dumb things people have seen their coworkers do. Have you seen your coworkers do anything dumb? Candace, why did you look right at me? You made eye contact.
I've known you for a while.
You have known me for a while. Hey, if you've seen a coworker do something really stupid, it's not too late in the day. Get your work day. In fact, call it in while they can hear you in the next cube or something like that in the shop right there and really embarrass them. We'll take that call. 651-989. Rock is the talk and text line, and we'll get to that at 9 o'clock. Hang tight.
Yeah, dude. What the hell? AI.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman, and this is the KQ Morning Show.
You liar.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Pot him down, Candace. Steve's back tomorrow. That's what it'll sound like here tomorrow when Steve gets back. I think. The Wild get started tonight. Goodbye, Twins. Thanks for the memories and a fun postseason for the most part, except for the last couple of games here. It's kind of a lackluster game yesterday. Kind of, if you're going to lose, that kind of thing. But that's history. That's water under the bridge. We live in a major metropolitan area with all sorts of big-time professional sports teams, and the Wild get going tonight. They lost the Stanley Cup last year to the Florida Panthers. They're in town. Pretty good team. We're going to find out a lot about this Wild team this year that looks a lot like last year's team. So I think Kaprizov, Hartman, and Zuccarello will be the starting lineup, the starting first line anyway tonight as they come out. Go Wild.
Yep. Glad to
Did you
see
guys
the
take
Wild
them up
back.
on the tickets? I know it's a 7 o'clock. They dropped the puck at 7:07 tonight, and that's one of those where I'm like, I want to go to the home opener and sit in the KQ suite. It's a beautiful suite, too, because we get the attack zone, twice for periods 1 and 3. But look at me being a responsible broadcaster.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I know. We're just old and lazy. We've all had to give up smoking, or else we're going to die. We're talking with Doug Stanhope, our guest, about that. And he had to quit smoking. Dave Mordahl quit smoking. I quit smoking. Tony, did you ever smoke?
I haven't had a ciggy since 2003. I didn't have the habit, though. I was a bar smoker. I used to love to have a puff when I was having a cocktail, but now it's been a long time.
Yeah, I was pretty much a bar smoker, too. I just went to the bar so damn much. But we used to smoke here at work, and one of our coworkers...
It's so weird.
Right, I know. We used to go out back to the garage, cruise through the garage, smoke outside, and every once in a while someone would get locked out. Myself and one of our previous former coworkers got locked out one morning. Had to run around to the front of the building. Back then, we had an intercom that worked. At this time, we didn't have cell phones, or we didn't take them out with us anyway. We weren't carrying them around like we do now, attached to your hip. And so we got locked out twice in one morning. And
what a dork.
I know. And the second time, we're laughing at each other. Dairy Train. We're laughing at each other, and I said, I'm not even going to go in. I'm just going to make them think I left or I'm being a prick or something. I can't. I'd rather be a prick at work than that dumbass that locked himself out twice in the same morning smoking. But she talked me to come in with her. The walk of shame. I'm thinking about that. I'm on BuzzFeed this morning. Dumb things people have seen their coworkers do, right? Once you kind of kickstart that thought, they just start piling on. I realize a lot of them are about me.
I feel like I've seen a lot, but I blocked it out or something.
yeah, that's good. You're protecting your psyche.
There was a guy here who used to cut his toenails here at work.
At work.
Yeah.
That's.
That was awful.
Yeah. You get a lot of people in radio that just like to upset people. They just like to, they're just weird by nature, and you try and bottle that in the morning. But it's not something you turn off and on. We're not professional comedians. We're just weird all the time. Candace. No.
Yes, I'm weird.
Lovable weirdo. Here's a guy that photocopied a slice of pizza. Why? Why would you do that? The rest of the office was finding cheese and toppings in the copy machine for weeks. Why would you, if you need a picture of pizza, you just go online. Google image pizza. Maybe he's trying to warm it up. Maybe they didn't have a microwave. They thought that would warm it up. Dummy.
Dumb.
So he did that instead of putting his butt on the copy machine.
Yeah, right. That old one. Did you ever put your face on there? I used to do that. I used to smash my face on it and photocopy it, and someone's like, you're going to give yourself cancer.
Yeah, I know. I was always afraid like the lasers would get in my eyes.
And that's how I lost the left side of my face. Call me Two-Face.
There's a guy I used to work with. Every single time he went to the copy machine, he would just go, yeah, I got to take a picture of this. Every time. It's like, okay, that's clever.
Yeah, that's like that. What was that old Rob Schneider? Yeah, he'd always walk into the copy room. Hey, it's old Toneroo, Tonerinsky, Tone Loke. That annoying guy.
There was also a woman who, every time she went to the copying machine, she would make a little rhythmic melody. Every time she would just go.
Oh.
The same little clicky tune.
Did you choke her?
Uh-huh. Yes, tripped her. That's how she got her face on the copy machine.
I'm the guy that walked down the hallway going, I don't know why I do that. So they know I'm coming. Someone saw a guy super glue himself to a component he was fixing twice. He did it once, then he inadvertently did it again when he was trying to show people how it happened.
He's recreating the moment.
And then did it again. Then, Tony, he super glued his eyelids together, all within an hour.
What a silly goose.
I don't think he should be working. I don't know what he was doing for a living, but that sounds like a liability.
Eyelids. Oh, that's like Hellraiser.
Candace, you've got some ink, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. How does this happen? Someone worked with a tattooist who did a tattoo that said, the guy goes in, he goes, laugh now, cry later. That's what he wanted on his chest, right? Okay. The tattoo artist tattooed laugh now, cry later. Ladder.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's a firefighter.
First of all, it's on your chest. I could see if it was a tramp stamp or something like that, back of the leg or just back or something, but don't you look down and go, hey, that's not a T. Hey, whoa. That and there's an extra letter. When you're getting letters tattooed on your body, I only have 4 letters tattooed on my body, but every letter, right? If they're trying to add another letter, you're like, wait, what? I lost count. But anyway, I went with ladder, looking right at there. Got the whole thing on there instead of later.
I got a tattoo in my dream last night, but I don't remember what it was. I was doing a lot of weird stuff in my dream last night. You guys were there.
We were in your dream? Yeah. We're just witnessing the dream. Did we have a fun part?
Yeah, there was some floating party on a river or something with a bunch of people, like my friends, my ex-boyfriends, and you guys. And then all of a sudden, Stevie Nicks shows up with a
Naturally.
microphone, and she
Right.
hands it to me. She starts singing. We start to sing Rhiannon together, but the microphone was like 100 pounds, and I dropped it. And then she said it was fine, and she didn't care. And then so we sang a little bit, and then we took a picture, and I was so happy, and because she loved me in my dream, like she just was like she thought I was the coolest person ever. And then I look over, and she's making out with Gigi.
I thought
With
for sure
your
you were gonna
dog.
say me.
No, with my dog.
You seriously need to find a couch and a professional somewhere and just get these. I'm not saying that, you're headed for, off the deep end. I'm just saying that I would love to get these interpreted. What does the 100-pound mic mean?
I don't know, and I dropped
think
it.
that you should believe in yourself more because you're seeing that as a challenge, but yet you were still able to handle it, even though the mic was super heavy. Pick up your self-esteem and stop your dog from making out
It was so weird. I was
with
like,
humans.
is she making out with my dog?
Did that make you a little jealous? Did you want to make
Yeah,
out with
a
Stevie
little bit.
Nicks?
Was Gigi into it?
Yeah, Gigi loved her.
Were they like, was it dog kisses or was it like
Yeah, but
weird?
it was like
Yeah.
a lot of mouth going on.
Yeah, well, that's kissing for you. You think about Stevie Nicks. Listen to me. Stevie Nicks.
Slip.
That's her porn name, Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks, you think about her a
I
lot.
love Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, that was my boyhood crush for a long time with Stevie Nicks. I wonder who's masturbated more to Stevie Nicks, you or me?
Well,
No, we'll figure it out over a beer sometime.
Say my name.
Stevie Licks. All right, we're talking about dumb things people have seen their coworkers do. Kitchen employee forgot to put oil in the fryer, turned it on, the fire shot up. What's the last thing you do with a grease fire? They threw water on it. Everywhere. Dummy. Someone opened a chat window to start talking smack about a coworker. I don't even have to finish this one. I know where this is headed. Yeah, they were on the chat with the coworker at the time.
Classic.
Sharing their screen. We saw a lot of that over the pandemic, right? People screwing up Zoom calls. Made me awfully paranoid. I did not make many Zoom calls, but I figured out how to shut that video off. Not that I was doing anything nasty. I just thought it's just best to leave it off. I pick my nose a lot,
Yeah, you do.
play with my nipples. It calms me down when I'm on the air. Someone who worked at an airport said their coworker took his girlfriend through a secure area of the airport to bypass screening. You ought to be able to do that. Get your friends and your girlfriend through the airport. The old bypass, they do that. The airport was locked down. They were arrested, and, of course, the guy was fired. That seems harsh. Yeah. I mean, is girlfriend a terrorist, for God's sakes? Relax a little bit. Hey, explain this to me, Candace. There's a new phrase coined out there, you Gen Zers, millennials. It's called perfect moment syndrome.
Okay.
Familiar with this?
No.
Sarah Wilson, she's an author and a Gen Zer, a little younger than you old millennial you.
I am.
She's got something called perfect moment syndrome. It just occurred to me that's PMS, but I don't think that's what she's talking about.
Perfect moment syndrome. It afflicts those of us who think life should operate in a certain way and to certain ratios. That birthdays are always happy. That a week in Thailand is meant to be relaxing. When you stop and check in with yourself, what are my expectations about this thing that I'm about to do in my relationship? What I found for myself is that when I have the bar so high of exactly how something should go, it leaves so much room for disappointment, and it leaves so much space for me to feel like the experience that I just had was not what it should have been.
Well, that's called growing up. That's why we're all cynical by the time we get to 40. Perfect moment syndrome. Yeah, doesn't work out quite like we want it to all the time, does it?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally something that sucks. I feel like I get my hopes up a lot.
Yeah.
And then it just doesn't go how I thought. And then that's my own damn fault.
No, you're just rolling into your 30s. This is what life is. We're young and ideal, and everything's possible, and we're going to change the world. And then by the time you get to 50, it's, all right, I have to give up cigarettes now so I can live a little bit longer, and I just want to take a damn vacation. I just want to be left alone. You have a lot to look forward to, Candace. Keep it young, keep it fresh. I want to talk politics at 9:30. Do you guys mind if we talk a little politics at 9:30? We just don't get around to that very often. There is a new political party in Austria that I'm awfully excited about, and yes, it does involve beer. Hang tight.
Politics! Oh, my God.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Steve Gorman will rejoin the KQ Morning Show tomorrow. Have you guys seen the radar? I love to look at weather radar. It's like a weird thing of mine.
What's happening?
It's this storm system that's moving up. I mean, it's just crushing Des Moines, or I should say east of Des Moines, west of Des Moines, I'm sorry. But the system starts out in Billings, Montana. Oh. Same system, and rolls all the way through Illinois over there into Indiana. It's moving up from the south. And, it just looks like it's a big, wet, mofacky of a weather system, but it doesn't look like it's going to get here until much later. Candace, you've been checking the weather all morning long, so it's supposed to get wet but later, but this is one big-ass storm. It's not
Don't
funny,
laugh
Candace.
at turmoil.
Lives are in danger, flash flooding, there could be hail.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, gosh. What was I going to talk about? Oh, this beer party in Austria. So it's just a joke party that they started over there, but I think this is exactly what politics needs. And look out, they've got some traction in Austria. Beer party. Get it? Mm-hmm. They're throwing a beer. It's a political party. It's a beer party. But Vienna, Austria has a big election coming up in 2025, and now a group called the Beer Party is rising in the polls. They're up to about 12% of the Austrian vote right now supporting the Beer Party, and they actually have candidates. Kind of like our Green Party here, right? There's always a Green Party candidate on the ballot here in Minnesota and nationally. And, they get about 1% of the vote because stoners don't vote. They just don't. They want to. But, was that today?
Party. Well, they'll sell a lot of bumper stickers.
They'll sell a lot of bumper stickers.
Merch.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows? One of these guys might end up, or gals might end up getting elected. Here's their platform right here. Because I think this is what politics needs. This has gotten so serious. People have gotten, we don't even know what we're talking about half the time. We just go straight to angry. Let's get a beer party going. You get one free keg per month for every adult in Vienna. Kids get a half a keg. You didn't drink over there. No drinking age. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think they do have a drinking age. I think when I was over in that part of Europe, it was something like 14, but they've upped it a couple of years, I believe. Anyway, don't let the kids have it. That means you get a keg and a half. Eliminate taxes on beers served at bars to make up that revenue. They want to up the taxes on various mixed drinks they see as inferior to beer. Oh, you're going to get a cocktail party going then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Allow bars to stay open 24/7. What could possibly go wrong with that? This is the Beer Party, an actual party that is running candidates that may get elected in Vienna's big election in 2025.
Politics!
Yeah, it's fun. Replace Vienna's iconic fountain with one that sprays beer instead of water. Guess where I'm going on my next vacation? A couple of years away, but if that was held today, they would have 3 members that would get into their governing body right now that are leading in the polls, the Beer Party. I'm just saying, maybe that's the future of politics. It's getting kind of comical. Yeah. Let's get some free beer out of it. What do you say?
I like their spirit.
Yeah.
Last Halloween costume you dressed up in, Tony?
Oh, God. I think I was...
Seriously?
It's been, I can't even remember mine. I might have to make something up. But Candace.
I'm from Pulp Fiction.
Funny.
I was, Rachel was Uma Thurman. Yeah. And I was Travolta. It was awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. What a classy outfit, too. You can wear that to a funeral also. That black jacket. Is that what you're going with? The tie there? All right,
the
Candace.
bolo.
Well, last year Gigi and I were bats. So we were just a couple of bats. I usually am pretty simple, like a bat, a cat, a witch. I don't get too
like
inside.
The classics.
Yeah. This year, though, I'm so excited. I'm going to be a mermaid.
Oh.
That'll be difficult. How are you going to do that?
I already got it.
Oh, your boyfriend's going to haul you around in a wheelbarrow?
Well, I said that he could get just a big net and just chase me around the whole time.
And a trident? Sounds like sexy fun.
You don't have to go to any party then.
Get a little fishtail.
I have a tail, but my roommate is pissed because there's glitter on the bottom of it, and she hates glitter. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go shake it out or saran wrap at the tail or something so I don't get glitter all over the house, but... I personally love glitter, but she said it gets stuck in the cracks.
Oh, you ever get cards, you open the envelope, and the glitter goes...
You ever date
So
a stripper? Everywhere. It's everywhere, you know. And then you go home to your wife, and she's like, where all the... No, I'm kidding. Now, Tony, you said Pulp Fiction. That goes back a couple of years. It's been a while since you dressed up.
Well, no, I did. Well, no, it wasn't the last time I dressed up, but that's the costumes we chose.
No, okay. Gotcha.
Because it was cool.
It is
It is cool.
We did look. I have a picture. I'll share it with
I can't wait to see it.
Candace is going to hate mine because I was that guy that just didn't put anything into it. You know what I went? And this was like 20 years ago, the last time I dressed
a hobo.
up. No, worse. I went as a DJ.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say
You know what I
that.
did? I just hung my headphones around my neck.
Oh, my
Stuck
God.
the cord in my pocket. I'm like, I'm a
disturbing.
DJ. Get it? And I'm smoking and I'm drinking. I'm a DJ.
Yes, so you
Disc
didn't
jockey.
win the contest.
Well, here's some ideas. If you guys are looking for ideas, they just put out the weirdest Halloween costumes of 2023. Let's bat these around. How about a ceiling fan? The hat is supposed to look like a fan. It comes with a shirt that says, "Let's go ceiling."
Oh, I hate pun costumes.
I think that's funny.
Not for you, Tony. How about a utility pole? Costume for couples. You're each a utility pole, and you're connected by straps that look like power lines. That's easy to get around the party. Everybody's going to be effing with you and pulling on the, right? You got to put a couple of birds on there, too, right? How about before and after? I'm sorry. Check that. Before, during, and after. This is a weird Halloween costume. Before, during, and after. You go to the bathroom. Costume, it requires 3 people. One costume is a full roll of toilet paper. Another is an empty roll. And the third costume is poop.
Oh.
Wow, what a trio.
All right, these are weird, ideas. They're not classics. Candace, you go with the classics. You're a classic girl. Sexy Ronald McDonald. Well, they're selling that online.
Make sure you bring some McDonald's with, otherwise get the hell out.
Yeah. Oh, I think I like this one. I haven't read it yet. Botched surgery costume. Your whole body covered in bandages. It looks like you had a nose job, facelift, and every other cosmetic procedure. All right. I might elaborate on that botched surgery thing. Charcuterie board. I had a friend one year, this was quite a while back, that went as El Nino. Back when El Nino was a real thing. Remember the first time we heard about it? Probably before you were born, Candace. Like, El Nino? What's El Nino? That means it's going to be really stormy. We didn't know what the hell. We still don't know what it means. But she came dressed, and she just had storm stuff all over her and sea stuff. I don't know. But that was... How about a Moscow Mule? A copper mug with ice and garnishes on top.
Boring.
The bartender's going to know what you're drinking, I guess. Price is Right 4-pack. Oh, that's 4 people. With all the people. Each person wears a belt that looks like podium contestants stand. The podium they all stand behind. And then you all have your bid out there, which you're bidding. The last person, of course, has to bid $1. But there again, you're kind of, you're together.
Do you remember the TV spokesperson George Zimmer for the Men's Warehouse?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I went as him one year.
I could see it.
I grayed up my hair and beard, and I had a suit, and I had like 500 price tags.
What was his tag? What was his line?
I guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Wait a second. Didn't you work for him? You worked was it a Big and Tall or something like that?
No, at Pants Plus, fashion iconic emporium.
Sorry, got that
Pants
very wrong.
Plus.
Pants Plus. I love that.
Home of the disco wear.
Candace, dumpster fire. These are the weirdest costumes of 23. Dumpster fire. You can just go as yourself. Yeah! Burning dumpster.
Sure, yeah. I'm going to light myself on fire now, and you're going to feel so bad.
That'll get them.
I'd feel bad. I'd be there to change your burn bandages and put the ointment on you.
Ointment.
Oh,
God. I hate that word so much.
Ointment. Put it on her moist sores.
The older I get, the more ointments I have.
Sores is horrible, too.
Her moist, open,
I have at
oozing
least 4
pussies.
ointments.
You do have ointments for...
At least 4.
All right. I mean, are they medicated ointments? Or that's not my business.
TMI.
You're right.
I didn't bring you.
No, you're right. It's good to have some ointments around. I feel like you're the one sitting in the bath with the candles and you're dumping in your oils and ointments and frankincense and myrrh. Maybe. I don't know.
Myrrh.
How about, I don't know why this is weird, myrrh. A chicken nugget being dipped in sauce. It's kind of cute, maybe for the toddlers. How about a taco costume for guinea pigs? Petco sells it. There's also a sushi costume for pet lizards.
Those are kind of funny.
Yeah, I
kinda
like
funny.
animals.
Yeah, that's some of the weird costumes out there this year. I like animals. Animals! Do you guys use your phones in the bathroom when you go on to and plop
of course.
down? Everyone does. Everyone. My dad does it. I said my dad got on Facebook. I'm like, oh, look, Pops is on Facebook. Friend request. Oh, and he accepted it. I guess we're buddies now. Look at that. My dad's on Facebook. And then he's like just posting like a madman. Not original content, but he's just reposting.
Madman.
He was a madman. Skip zap. And just like 15 posts a day. I was like, Dad, wow, you're really all in on the Facebook thing. He goes, oh, I just use it in the morning when I'm taking a crap. That's how my dad talks. I'm taking a crap. And I'm like, really? Because I saw like 15. What are you doing? Mom, is he all right? Should we get him in and get him checked out? He's spending an awful lot of time in the bathroom, but I do too. But they say then when you get on your phone and you're in there, do you stay longer? You've got to finish that game of solitaire or whatever it is you're doing on your phone. Candace, what do you primarily? Me, it's solitaire almost always. Or I'm looking up stories. What do you do?
Work.
Is it work? Yeah. That makes
Emails.
sense. Yeah. Tony?
Yeah, it's weird news stories for work.
Looking around for stuff like that. And then you end up just sitting there a little bit longer and you're thinking, I'm going to have to wipe soon or it's going to dry. Of course, there's the issue of back. Well, let's say it like it is. Come on, man. We're adults. They're saying using your phone on the throne also increases the amount of time you spend on the toilet, and this causes increased strain on your rectum.
Oh.
Reading it right here. Leading to hemorrhoids, tissue tearing, and bleeding. All right, if you're sitting on the toilet so much that...
The more you know.
But I was just going into... leading to hemorrhoids, tissue tearing, and bleeding? Yeah, all right. You've got a problem. You've got an issue with your tissue. It seems solving the daily Wordle while dropping... Oh, they threw their own little line in there for me at the end. So it's dangerous. Beware scrolling in the bathroom. Crying out loud.
Okay.
Stop the scroll.
Stop,
all right.
Stop the scroll and reach for the roll.
The KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.